sports. It's in the game.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Well, take a look at this site, Wolf Creek Golf Club. It is for real. Frank, I've never seen anything quite like this as we get set to call it for EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner behind the mic, and we welcome you to this site that opened up back in 2000. It's a par of 72 with some elevated tees. Frank, what does the player need to look out for here at Wolf Creek?
Well, everything. Try and keep your eyes on the fairways, though. That's the only green thing apart on this magnificent venue. It's hard to imagine you can play golf in this sort of area, but it's so well defined. Obviously, anything green is golf course, and left or right of that, you're going to find yourself in some problems. But really trying to judge all the elevation changes. Ball's going to fly a little bit further in the thin air, but it's amazing on the eye.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. This one just requires a little bit of focus. -2 early in the round. Frank, you need to be a bit of a rock climber just to get to this second tee. 445-yard hole. What a view. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Just a couple of feet. So, Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. Very impressed.
Frank, 227 yards from the back tee here at the par 3 third. This is all you want.
Well, that's for sure. Plays a little longer than that, too, by virtue of playing uphill. Thin air might negate some of that. There's going to be a good shot just to keep the ball on the green. One of the smaller greens here. This is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brittle out there.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Another one inside of 5 feet. This for par. Nice par to remain 3 under. 383-yard fourth hole. Certainly not long, Frank, but there's plenty of trouble out there.
Yeah, this is very much a positional hole. This is not sort of tee it up with a driver and just rip it down. Just find the fairway, you're going to have virtually just a short wedge, 9-iron really at the most into this green. And really, this is a good chance for a birdie. So 2 good shots, and you shouldn't be too far away.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Look, everybody wants to post a good low number, but a good score at Wolf Creek is really relative because this is a true desert canyon golf course. It is rated as the 3rd hardest golf course in America by the United States Golf Association.
Yeah, that's the slope rating that you're referring to. It has a slope rating of 154, which sort of measures in all the undulations. So, needless to say, you don't get too many flat putts, or actually relatively flat shots either here at Wolf Creek. But the thing about it, the golf course isn't overly long, and it sort of fits in with the terrain. How could you come to the desert with all these changes in elevation and expect to play flat golf? I'm loving that balance.
Good tee shot, right in the fairway, and plenty long. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That is classy.
No chance of going in.
Settles in over the putt. Good work right there, now to 6 under. Here at the 6th, 447-yard par 4. Pretty good hole, Frank.
Yeah, probably a layup hole, too, for the longer hitters. Something out there around the 280, 290-yard mark to make sure you don't go it in the stream. Obviously, it's a dogleg right, as you can see. The canyon on both sides is sort of well-defined, so you know where not to go. Second shot plays a little bit back up the hill to a green, once again, that's anything other than flat. It's fun. You've got to make sure you get that ball on the right tier if you want to have a birdie putt here. Rich, that tee shot there has shortened up this hole considerably. It's made a tough par 4 into, well, we'll see, but it looks like a very birdieable hole now.
Hit it right where you want. Now he has a good chance to attack that whole location. On the green, and a chance for a birdie. Oh yes, get in. 7 under par, another birdie. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And what I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Very nicely done, right on the dance floor. He has this or a birdie. 8 under par, 8 around. Frank, this is the kind of hole you like to drop a bag of balls and just have fun. Hit it all day long as if you were at the range. Unfortunately, you only get one crack, and you better be good. This is a tough hole.
Well, if you find the water, actually, you might get another one up there. It certainly is a tough hole, though, Rich. The stream going all the way down the left-hand side, and it wraps right around the left and behind the screen, makes that tee shot, it certainly makes you think about that tee shot while you're on the tee. Prudent play, aim for the right edge of the green. Nothing wrong if you just miss the green on the right, but miss the green by a yard on the left, you pay a very steep price.
Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
And he makes it for par. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 ninth, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunk on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
Getting set for another approach. Our featured golfer really looks dialed in at this point.
Yeah, right now this is a great feeling to have as a golfer. Your swing's good, the timing, it's almost like it's just completely natural. You don't have to think. The swing is exactly where you want it to be. So really you're just looking at the flag in front of you.
You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count. And that is 9 under for the day. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. There's something about a well-hit shot.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Birdie try up next. These putts keep the round together. Rolling, rolling, rolling the rock, Frank.
Oh, and yet another birdie, Rich. Beautiful stroke.
Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here. And this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A 3rd straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the par 5 12. Pretty big hole with a really big green.
And a really good blue area to the left, called water there. That's to be avoided off this tee, that's for sure. A good drive that avoids all of that. And then the hole is certainly reachable, but as you can see, water creeps in again, back right on this hole. So just don't get too cavalier here. A 5 wouldn't be the worst score. I know you want better, but believe me, seen many a 6s and 7s racked up here at 12.
That one came right off the meat of the bat. He really laid into that.
More than got a piece of that.
190 yards now for this second shot. Excellent shot to within 10 feet. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Knocking down all the shots today now. 13 under. 13th hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees. But very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line, well, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome.
This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. Just a couple of feet. Never a bad score on the card. That's par. 14th hole here at Wolf Creek. Time to pull out the driver and as well the phone because you want to take some pictures here. What a spectacular view.
Stunning. You can see a whole panoramic sort of 360 degrees right around this golf course. Then when you flick back and actually look at the 14th hole, there's 6 bunkers. 3 really in play with the tee shot, as you can see. The other 3 just up by the green. Anything to the right of those is preferred, unless you want to be playing your second shot out of the canyon or the bunkers. Green should be fairly receptive, and 3 distinct portions, which is sort of a common trait here at Wolf Creek. That's sort of 3 different tier levels and that. But let's see, birdies are to be made at Wolf Creek, maybe even one here.
This is a good-looking shot. That will be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Par attempt here. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Here at the 15th hole here at Wolf Creek, bit of a breather here. Nice, short par 3. You don't want to miss this green.
No, that's the temptation there. If you try and bite off a little too much because it looks a little too easy, then a bogey here and you're in a bad mood all of a sudden at Wolf Creek.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. This has a good ring to it, minus 14. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, another good scoring chance.
If you can avoid the confusion off the tee, it looks like the hole might be a dogleg, then is it a carry? It meanders from one way to the other, but really when you actually break the hole down, it's virtually straight ahead. Those 2 bunkers in the driving distance, they frame the hole nicely, so play it as a straightaway par 4. It should set up beautifully for just a little short iron and perhaps a birdie opportunity.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
He is on a roll right now. So 2 holes left to play. Now the final par 5 on the course, 562 yards, the 17th.
The drive looks relatively straightforward, and I say that because there's a little creek down there that obviously you have to stay short of. But that's the fun part. They want to keep you back in an area where you go, can I hit the second shot across the stream, across the water, and still keep it on the green? And the answer is, I don't know. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I'm a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
Finishing hole here at Wolf Creek is only 307 yards. Frank, where's the trouble here?
Short and to the right of this par 4. Really, there's a multitude of options off this tee. You could hit an iron, you could hit a fairway wood. Even some might try and hit a driver, but you know, that's a little too risky. There's too many problems up ahead if you try and take this hole on. Really a short club off the tee, leaving yourself some area of 100, 70 yards, and you're going to be putting for birdie more often than not.
Yes, this putt for eagle. That's good work right there. Just a tap in. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. I don't know, maybe lifted right there, just sort of peaked. Rory McIlroy looking to take advantage with this putt.
You'd like that one again.
Well, not going to be too happy with that one. So after all that, it's a bogey. Frank, I have to say, I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game plan and executed.
And consequently, a very solid round. Continuing with that kind of play can certainly put you in the winner's seat.